So today I went to hear my results from the, what do you call it, doctor. Talked to him about CCSVI, and but his focus is on nutrition, so he wasn't tremendously, how do I say, he wasn't tremendously active on that. He was, well, he's a nutrition doctor, so that's his thing. And now the prescription, I need to stop and get some stuff from the pharmacy. I'll make another video clip to show you everything that was prescribed to me this time. It is a long list. The pill amount for the morning is the following. Looks pretty daunting, and these are the products that I do, and that's the drink there, and then there's stuff given in drop form. So quite a bit, plus then, yeah, this drink here, it's from the pig brain stuff. But these were after taking my blood and seeing what deficiencies I have. I'll give it a go for a while and see how it goes. But oh yeah, this is our new dog here, Rudy. He's having a drink from his brother's cup. So yeah, this would be an impossible treatment to a normal person. But the legislation for companies goes so that I can just chuck all of this onto my company, and that's it. I don't need to pay a dime. Or my company needs to pay, but I don't need to pay anything. So, brilliant. But I'll start now consuming my pills. I'll go through the list at some point in a bit more detail. What am I actually consuming? But yeah, we'll see what happens. The next tests are in October, and then we'll see what needs to be done with this. But basically, I'll eat them until October, and if there's no clear change in how I feel, then I'll kick them. And next week is the neurologist, which is interesting. It's going to be in a new hospital called Jorvi, and we'll see. Yeah, it's nasty because you really don't have a say who's going to come and treat you, but now I'm going to be quite vocal about it, saying that I do not want a traditional solution. Went for the midsummer to my summer cottage, and it was my sister, their dog, then there was my cousin with her dog, or their dog. She's married to a Norwegian guy, and then there's my parents and what do you call it? I think it was good for our new dog, who's been bullying our older, kind of gentle dog. There was a Great Dane who twice he put him in line. You hear him squeal a bit, and then, but it wasn't any, he didn't bite it or growl, he just stomped on it. Boom. And that was it. Issue solved, or settled. Yeah, had a bonfire, slept quite well, but then the weather was horrible on Midsummer Day. It was fairly alright on the eve, but then on Midsummer it was overcast. So we left home early, only to discover that when we got to Helsinki it was shining like anything. It was very bright and warm. So maybe if we would have stuck it out, it would have turned and been warmer. I'm thinking of doing a bit of exercise today. The kids leave for their summer camp, which lasts for 6 days, 6 nights and 7 days, so we'll have some peace and quiet. Had a big bonfire at the summer cottage, which nearly burned the birches around it. You could smell, it smelled like a vihta. It's the Finnish thing that you hit yourself with, and the sauna. Yeah, I'll see how what do you call it? How I progress, because unfortunately, even with my dietary changes and all that, I'm feeling the effects of the illness, and there has been no quick fix or a relief of any of my symptoms. Oh boy, the funniest of incidents happened this morning. I was trying not to wake up my darling wife, and when I came to bed last night, I saw a pair of spectacles on the bed, and I lifted them up and I put them on my nightstand, and got up this morning and tried not to wake her up and picked up stuff quick as I could, and sun was shining in the morning when I left work for work, so using my sunglasses was alright, but now the weather is like this, so it's raining and it's horrible. But why I'm still wearing my sunglasses is that in the morning I took my wife's spectacles and I can't see anything with them. So and then another thing which happened yesterday, I actually sent a link and details to this page earlier. I've been finding out different foods and different kind of ways to cope with this illness, and what to eat and what not to eat and how to do, but now for the very first time I found a site. It's a Canadian site because MS is titled as the Canadian disease. What do you call it? I found for the first time in my life, a guy describing his symptoms and the solution he takes to get rid of them identically as I describe mine. So small exercise I noticed now when I was cycling in Stockholm, and obviously when you have your working clothes on, let's see if this gives a better view. Yeah. When you have your working clothes on, you tend to cycle very relaxed, but what do you call it, that did not provide the, how do I say, relief that I'm used to associate to working out. But now, listening to this guy in his video, his how do I say, what he did was exactly as I normally, when I do sports, I need to thank God that I do it like that, that it comes naturally to me, that I do cardio with fairly high beats per minute when I'm exercising. I can easily go over 180, peaking at 190. So what he said was that when he had gone through the CCSVI operation, and he said that he has now learned how to listen to his body, and when he feels that his circulation is hampered in any way, he will do vigorous exercise to rid him of this feeling. And I actually talked to the physiotherapist, was it last week? I mentioned that, yeah, I kind of have this feeling that there's a protective period of 2 days after I've exercised very hard that I don't get any symptoms. And now this MS Hope, it's actually www.mshope.com. So he explained his condition and his solution identically to mine. And he also said that he had gone to the CCSVI treatment and found that it was beneficial to him. Not as beneficial only due to the thing that he had his MS already under control by using diet, but he had some certain symptoms lingering that he felt that were made better by this treatment. I got my neurologist moved to Wednesday because tomorrow we are going to have dinner at a new Finnish restaurant called Finnjävel, which is a Swedish, or Swedes use that to mock the Finns. It's Suomi Piru, or Finnish Devil. A name we earned when a lot of migrant workers went over there during the recession, and they would be of the, how do I say, less than mellow types when they took alcohol, so they were called Finnjävel. So we're going to this restaurant. It serves traditional Finnish food and dishes with a fine dining twist. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like and now I'm trying to get into Sello to buy myself some sushi. Good morning. Went yesterday to this Finnjävel, which is a Swedish, how would I say, mocking term for Finnish people, and they had a twist on, or all of the dishes were twists on classical Finnish dishes, and I must say that yes, they had put, you could recognize these familiar flavors from the dishes. For example, there was kesäkeitto, kaalikääryleet, and but yeah, a lot of them kind of, you had a hint of the taste that, oh yeah, that's what it was. But what was unpleasant was that in the morning, when I woke up to go to the loo, toilet, water closet, I was kind of jerking, and I can't remember when I've last jerked as much. So, fairly unpleasant in that sense. I don't know if the effect would be so fast, but yeah, that was one of the things in this restaurant. I watched the TV show. They have a TV show about this restaurant, how they started it up and how they designed the restaurant, the actual place and the kitchen and the menu, and how they got these different dishes. But one of the things that they did was that they designed all their plates and cutlery from scratch. So they had in their knives, there was a little kind of devil's tail engraved or cut into it. They were very clumsy, the cutlery. They were too big, and they looked good, but they weren't easy to operate. Oh yeah, I've got the neurologist today. And I've been praying about it, that the person that's gonna see me today, that he would not be in the pocket of big pharma, just trying to shove medication down my throat that I do not want to take. And let's see how it goes. I've been praying about it, that he would be, how do I say, on the pulse of things, of new treatments and developments and how to do this. Yesterday I watched a video about, what was it? Kantasolu. What is it? I can't remember the English term. But basically where they harvest your, stem cell. Where they harvest your stem cells and then they inject. But anyway, now it's a couple of hours at work and then off to see my doctor, and I have no clue who they might be. It's either a lady or a man. But as said, on the public sector, it's a bit of a lottery who you get. So that's why I'm praying that we would somehow get a meaningful connection with the doctor. So here I am at Jorvi Hospital. It is the polyclinic, I don't know how to say it, polyclinic for neurologic. And it's funny, I have this how do I say, excited, or I have a knot in my stomach. It's maybe because thinking of giving the doctor a piece of my mind regarding inefficient drugs that they push on people, make believing that they'll make them feel better, whereas any long-term study done on them proves that they're just not worth their salt, or whatever you say. They're practically useless. None of them help. So let's see how the doctor is. I've been praying about it, that it would be a kind of positive and a meeting where we would somehow come to a common understanding of how to attack all this thing. And I run the CCSVI thing by my nutrition doctor, who said that nah, he wasn't so into it. And now I'm going to ask the neurologist to see what his opinion is. Don't have tremendously high hopes that he would somehow, or she, you never know, might be a lady, that they would have a tremendously positive view about it. But still it's and maybe we'll come back to that was just about one of the most uninspiring visits that I've ever had. I think I'm now being categorized as a progressive case. It's not a remitting case, but it's a progressive case. And they're not going to do anything with me. There's no future controls that they'll do. The only thing that they said, that if you have symptoms that hinder your ability to work, then you can come and have a control, and then we'll give lausunto, whatever it was. So then they'll make a statement that, yeah, he's in a bad condition, he doesn't need to work. But yeah, it was quite horrible. And the funny thing is that when you talk to these neurologists, and their whole thing is that you get a sense of hopelessness, that they pretty much, they don't offer you any hope. It's just doom and gloom. Oh yeah. So not a nice visit. And every single thing I said, it was a she that was the doctor. And all of the studies I mentioned, she would either counter them, saying that, yeah, there's this other study that says that it's not a viable form of treatment, or then she would say, well, I haven't familiarized myself with this particular study. And the feeling that I get is you don't get into dialogue with these people. They just how do I say? I just completely ignore you and keep repeating their mantra. And not. I've now spent half a day mulling over what the doctor told me, and I'm utterly appalled at the way that a healthcare professional can just come up to you and say, whatever you've looked at, whatever you've experienced, it is not valid. My studies indicate differently. I think, don't they take some kind of an oath that when they start practicing medicine, that they'll try and do good? And I'm gobsmacked by the way that this doctor behaved. So, just based on, I don't even know. I've given random explanations and kind of don't even know whether all of the symptoms that I've given have anything to do with my disease. These jerky motions and all, they most likely do, but still, they're my thinking about what has happened, and based on that, a doctor just turns around and says, no, we won't be seeing you anymore. There's no need for monitoring you at all, and only if your symptoms become very pronounced will we ever want to see you again, basically. You're gonna do any follow-ups, any MRIs, anything? Nah. Your form, the disease that you have, the form of disease that you have, the drug treatment that we have on offer, they don't work. Okay? So what are you offering? Well, nothing. You've already done it. You do exercise. That has been proven to be beneficial. Please continue doing exercise. I mean, yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm livid with these. I knew that they were what they call it. It's evidence-based medicine. So, in order to, well, I think it's a good thing that our money is not just thrown whichever way, but still, the capability of completely ignoring studies that indicate very substantial benefit to patients, for example, this swank diet, that go on low fat, and then we have the guy has, I think he has 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60-year studies of these patients, and they're still around and kicking. But yeah, today wasn't a good day in the sense that I was at this Finnjävel yesterday, and I took the food with the wine, so I drank a variety of different wines, not tremendously much, but still I've been without alcohol pretty much. And then there was some, I would say, very fatty dishes. For example, the pork roll, I think it was, the majority of the dish was fat. But anyway, I'll compile this and send it off. I'm miffed at the doctor, but do you know who is our ultimate doctor? It's Jesus.